Hello, Siwat's 89. Okay, so I might have spoken a bit too soon about Mina. Now, I was looking for pictures for a thumbnail for the video that I did about him being included in the Canadian drag race pit crew, and I just was reading a bit of this interview, and I read something that kind of bothered me, and I sort of just informed what I was sort of saying before. Now, he was asked, how did you get cast in the pit crew? He said the casting process was definitely nerve-wracking. Walking into a room full of guys who looked like your typical pit crew, with me being the only one with the bigger body and no six-pack, was definitely intimidating. I had to go to the washroom and give myself a pep talk and remind myself that I'm not any less attractive just because I'm bigger and I don't have a six-pack. Once I got over those insecurities in my head, I felt really empowered to take up that space and show that my body wasn't any less worthy of being celebrated. After I finished the audition, I felt really proud of myself because I developed an eating disorder when I was 19 years old because I wanted to look like these guys in the audition room with me, especially in the gay community where muscled bodies are put on a pedestal, true, over all other body types. While I had moments of self-doubt, I genuinely didn't feel like I was any less beautiful or worthy just because my body was bigger. Then they asked him, did he know that he was going to be the first plus-size member of a pit crew? And did that factor into why he wanted to do it? Now, he doesn't address why he wanted to do it, but he does say that when I was asked during the audition why I wanted to be part of the pit crew, I said that the pit crew has men whose bodies are deemed attractive, which they are because they're healthy, and celebrated in our community, which is not a bad thing. The pit crew is seen as the epitome of what's desirable, the body that every gay man should aspire to have at any cost. It's the toxic beauty standard that's sadly ingrained in all our community. But me having stretch marks, fat on my body, and love handles doesn't make me any less attractive, and I think it's so incredibly important to show that beauty doesn't look like one certain size and that comes in many shapes and sizes. He goes on to say, I always think about that kind of what kind of bodies and messages I needed to see as a kid, as a gay kid who desperately hated his body in pursuit of that gay beauty ideal. It hurt me so much growing up, and I wanted to do something about that as I grew up. And I learned to be confident in my skin, so I didn't know that I'd be the first plus-size member of the pit crew, but I knew I needed to go out there and do something for the young gay kids watching the show, so they can see a bigger body and stretch marks and learn to be kinder to themselves. So my issue with that whole statement, it's the idea that he doesn't have... He has a skewed perspective. Now, and this is the problem. People just go to these extremes and they just don't look at the middle ground. They don't look at what's rational and sensible. They just always go to these extremes. Now, he's basically saying, okay, the extreme ideal of the muscle man, the ripped guy, the model body that very few people can genuinely have, is not what the pit crew is. The pit crew is just healthy guys. When you look at them, they're healthy, diverse, fit guys, and he's saying that is like an unrealistic, toxic beauty standard, and it's not. And he's saying that's what's being promoted and that's bad. It's not. It's saying that's being celebrated as the ideal to strive to. It is, and it should be. It's healthy. And the idea that is wrong, I find it so frustrating, because like I said, they're not extreme model types. They're just healthy, fit men, and that is not a bad thing. And the idea he's making that bad is vilifying that. So he's going from his side where because he's plus size, he is vilified, and he is, and he's now turning around and doing that to the healthy people as a response or as some sort of solution in his mind, and it's not. So, and the problem with this is basically he's an activist. And activists, they always have a political agenda, they have an angle they want to push, and it's not normally about really helping anyone. It's normally about getting attention, screaming loudest. Now, the worst of these people, they just go from topic to topic to topic, because they don't actually care about the actual issue. They just want to scream loudest and get attention. This guy does seem to be focusing on issues that are actually in his life and important to him, but he still has this skewed view, and he's now inflicting that on everyone else. And because of the current climate, it's being pandered to, and now we're being told we have to accept overweight and bad health, and that should be a norm and acceptable, and it really shouldn't. We can't do that. It has bigger ramifications for the community and for people's health in general. Now, I'm not saying people should be fat shamed. People should be given positive role models, positive examples, positive ideals, and means and tools to actually reach those, so they can be healthy and happy, and they can fit into the pit crew without any issues. But the idea of just accepting that you're fat, just being that, not changing it, not working on it, and then forcing other people to accept that, and forcing yourself into roles where you don't fit and you don't belong for a political reason, for a political agenda, just for the sake of it, for the point of it, it's just wrong. So I was reading that, and I was just thinking, okay, so he isn't just this innocent guy who stumbled into this situation and is just trying to promote like a healthy, because he's not healthy. I don't want to ramble, but I sort of read that and I said I want to talk about that, and didn't really think all the way through exactly what I wanted to say. So I'm just sort of, as I go along, doing it. But yeah, that's basically it. He's seeing what's normal and healthy as an extreme beauty standard, a toxic beauty standard, when it's really just the standard we should all have, which is basic being fit and healthy and taking care of ourselves. And no one's going to be perfect. Even if he lost a bunch of weight, he'd still have the stretch marks. He'd probably still not fit into that extreme ideal, but he would fit into the actual healthy range of that. And that's what he should be going for. And that's what should be accepted. We don't have to look like models. We don't have to look like Adonis. We don't have to have zero body fat and be perfect. But the alternative is not to accept the opposite, which is giving up, letting go, accepting and promoting obesity, being overweight, being unhealthy. These people, they go from one extreme to the other. It's like, well, if I can't be this, I have to be this, and you have to accept this. It's like, no, there is a healthy, reasonable, acceptable middle ground. And that's just what I want to promote. That's what I want to talk about. The fact that you can be a member of the pit crew without being a perfect model. You just have to not be overweight. You just have to be healthy and fit. That's all you have to do. And that's all you have to do to fit into the community. Really. Very few people have the perfect body. I know a few of these people who have the perfect body. I have some of these friends, although I think, I know one, I better not say anything. I know some of these guys, and yes, they get more attention, but it doesn't make their life any better. They don't have any more love. They don't have any more acceptance. They usually just have more insecurity, more stress, because of all the extra effort they go to, than the healthy guys who are just healthy and just fit, and regular guys who don't have all these expectations and all these things, ideals they want to get to. So you don't have to be that, but you shouldn't be him either. Can we just have some common sense and normality here? Can we just have some just healthy body images and healthy examples that aren't an extreme in either direction? I guess that's all I really want. I guess that's what I want to promote, the idea that there is a middle ground. We don't have to be supermodels, and we don't have to be plus-size models either. So I'm just getting tired by the whole thing. I'm just going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, I'm open to hear that. If you want to educate me on something I'm wrong about, feel free to do that. But if you just want to insult me, it's just a waste of time. If you actually want to explain an issue or a problem, go for it. If you just want to tell me I'm stupid or ugly, it really doesn't achieve much. But if you want to tell me why I'm being stupid, I'm really open to hearing it, because if I'm wrong or making a mistake, I'm very happy to be corrected or educated, because, you know, that's what life is, learning and growing. I'm going to go. Bye.